Many WNBA fans are calling out the referee problem.
This may be the most shocking referee scandal in WNBA history. One moment, Caitlin Clark was dominating the league, breaking records, drawing massive ratings, and filling arenas nationwide. The next, she was limping off the court with an injury that many believe could have been prevented if the officials had done their jobs. Now, one of those referees has reportedly been suspended, and newly surfaced footage is exposing the situation even further. The evidence includes blatant missed calls, referees turning their backs during timeouts, and a wave of fan outrage accusing the league of harboring an anti-Clark bias. The disrespect became so undeniable that even the Indiana Fever head coach publicly called it egregious.
I thought you got fouled. I think it's pretty egregious what's been happening to us the last few games. Minus 31 free throw discrepancy.
Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark, who has been playing through injuries, finally had enough. She confronted the referees with papers in hand, giving them a piece of her mind even while sidelined. This isn't just about a few bad calls. It appears to be something deeper, systemic, calculated, and with consequences that stretch far beyond a single game. So, what really happened behind the scenes? Why was one referee quietly removed from officiating, and is the WNBA truly protecting its biggest star, or are they letting her be targeted while profiting from her popularity? Buckle up, because the footage, the stats, and the fan reactions all tell a story that's hard to ignore. Before we dive into this storm of missed calls, hidden injuries, and referee backlash, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. Trust me, you don't want to miss what we're about to uncover. Let's get into it.
Referees just exposed their hand so bad, bro. I mean, they just didn't care no more. They didn't care. The world was watching how bad the calls was. They didn't care at all. They was going to get their issue off against the Fever no matter what. And I'm here to tell you, that's exactly what went down, bro. They have an agenda against Caitlin Clark.
In one viral clip, 3 referees walk past Caitlin Clark without making eye contact or acknowledging her as she and her teammates attempt to communicate during a timeout. One official even physically turns his back on her, a moment that has now become infamous. Let that sink in. The face of the WNBA, ignored, dismissed, and disrespected. And this wasn't an isolated incident, it was part of a pattern. Reportedly, one of those referees has now been suspended, but for Caitlin Clark, the damage is already done. Now picture this. It's the final possession against the New York Liberty, the game on the line, the world watching. Clark drives to the rim and makes contact. Natasha Cloud reaches in. The foul is clear, obvious, undeniable. But the whistle never comes. Clark turns to the referee, eyes wide in disbelief, shouting. Her teammates join in, but the officials remain motionless like statues. A fan's viral comment summed up the national mood. My 4-year-old son knew that was a foul. That single no call didn't just change the outcome of the game, it ignited a movement. One content creator called it exactly what it appeared to be: selective officiating.
After every single game, WNBA players, fans, coaches are all complaining about the referees, and they have shown that they're not going to change anything because the referees continue to be horrible.
Another blatant agenda, and here's what makes it worse. That single possession could have changed the outcome of the game, but instead, it may have altered the entire trajectory of the WNBA season. Let's go deeper. What few realized at the time was that Caitlin Clark had been playing through something serious, specifically a quad injury. Rewatch the footage. There she is with a heating pad wrapped around her thigh during games, grimacing, adjusting, pushing through. Now it's official, a quad strain. Caitlin Clark missed her first game of the season against the Washington Mystics on Wednesday night. The cost? Immeasurable. This is a player who hadn't missed a game since 2017, from high school to college. To the WNBA, 8 straight years without sitting out, without quitting. But now she's sidelined, not due to a freak accident, but because referees repeatedly failed to call obvious fouls. As one voice put it, this injury isn't bad luck, it's league-sanctioned negligence. But Clark didn't go quietly. At halftime on Wednesday, despite not being dressed to play, she was caught on camera storming toward the referees with a piece of paper in hand, pointing to the floor, making a statement. This is the same Caitlin Clark who nearly faced a one-game suspension earlier in the season for technical fouls. She's never been afraid to speak out. And now she's speaking up not just for herself, but for her team, for fairness, and for the integrity of the game. Once again, the officials said nothing. Then, Indiana Fever head coach Stephanie White dropped a post-game bombshell. "I think it's pretty egregious what's been happening to us the last few games." She wasn't vague. She cited a -31 free throw discrepancy. 31. Her team was attacking the rim, drawing contact and getting no calls. "The disrespect for our team has been pretty unbelievable," she added. Her words ignited the fire. Fans erupted. Creators rallied. The public finally saw what was happening, and they weren't staying silent anymore. MVP odds crashed. Millions were suddenly on the line. Before her injury, Caitlin Clark was the betting favorite for MVP. FanDuel had her at even money. After Caitlin Clark's injury, her MVP odds plummeted, dropping to plus 210 on FanDuel and plus 150 on DraftKings. That's more than just sports betting. It's a market correction reflecting real value lost. And that value isn't hypothetical. Visit. Indy reported a 501% spike in traffic to Fever-related content the moment Clark was drafted. Indianapolis hotel bookings surged during home games, and road game ticket prices skyrocketed, averaging $312 per seat, a 140% increase in some cases. ESPN even aired a preseason OSA WNBA game because of Clark, pulling in 1.3 million viewers. Numbers matched only by LeBron James in regular season NBA broadcasts, all because of one player. Now she's temporarily sidelined, but the warning is permanent. The narrative is shifting. This isn't just bad luck or tough basketball, it's something more calculated. Content creators are connecting the dots. One commentator claimed the EI's refs were just following the commissioner's instructions, while another fan said, "This doesn't exist without permission from the higher-ups." This isn't about missed calls, it's about targeted no calls, and the message is clear. You're not protected here. The league surely noticed that Clark's presence brought in millions in revenue, merchandise sales, and viewership, yet they still let this happen. The response has been explosive. Fans, analysts, and creators aren't waiting anymore. One viral call to action summed it up. Every Indiana Fever content creator needs to come together like the damn Avengers. They're not just venting, they're breaking down every play, frame by frame, comparing calls, demanding accountability. There are growing calls for NBA referees to handle high-stakes WNBA games. As one creator bluntly said, "No more YMCA, junior league, high school refs." This is no longer just about basketball. It's about fairness, integrity, and the league's reputation. And now comes the twist. Reports say one referee from the viral Clark clip is no longer officiating. Quietly pulled from games, no statement from the league, no explanation. The timing is too perfect to ignore. It doesn't feel like coincidence. It feels like a cover-up. And that raises the most damning question. What else is the league hiding? Now, the biggest question looms like the silence before a buzzer beater. When Caitlin Clark returns, what will the league have done? Will they protect their investment? Will referees be held accountable? Will officiating finally be fair? Here's where things get real. Everyone's talking about Clark's injury, the missed calls, the possible ref suspension, but zoom out. This isn't just about a star rookie getting hacked or ignored. It's about a league that finally has the spotlight and might be fumbling the moment. Clark isn't just another rookie, she's a phenomenon. Her preseason game drew 1.3 million viewers. Her presence boosts ticket prices by 140%. Cities are building practice facilities because she exists. That's not hype, that's economic gravity. But now the WNBA must ask itself, how do you protect your biggest star without appearing biased? And here's what no one is talking about. This is also a test for every player in the league. Some are riding the Clark wave quietly, others throwing shade, intentionally or not. But here's the truth. If the league lets Clark get targeted, benched, and battered while profiting off her name, what message does that send to the rest of the players about their safety, their value when the spotlight moves on? The WNBA is on the edge of something huge. More fans, more money, more opportunity. But it will all collapse if the league can't prove it values talent, safety, and fairness over egos and politics. If Clark returns and nothing changes, if the abuse, the silence, and the one-sided whistles continue, then fans, creators, and sponsors will walk. Not because they hate the game, but because they can't trust the system behind it. The WNBA doesn't just need to protect Caitlin Clark. It needs to protect the future of the league. And that's a wrap. Now I want to hear from you. Did the refs cross a line in how they treated Caitlin Clark? Was that final possession against the Liberty outright robbery? And that viral clip, was it intentional shade or just bad timing? Is the WNBA doing enough to protect its biggest star or just riding the Caitlin Clark wave while it lasts? And what about the ref's suspension? Did it really happen? Or is the league quietly sweeping it under the rug? When Clark returns, should she speak out again or let her game do the talking? Where does this leave the rest of the players? Are they backing her or staying silent? Drop your full thoughts in the comments. I'm reading everything. And trust me, this is one of those moments where your voice matters. And hey, if you're feeling this kind of content, hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives and no-filter takes. The drama in this league is just heating up, and we'll be breaking it all down right here. Catch you in the next one.